Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Well-Appointed Mystic. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I consider sort of tarot-adjacent books. They're almost reference books, and I have found that they have come in very handy in providing more information about things that with tarot and oracle, I am sometimes need more information or I'm curious about what they are related to. So I thought I would go through these books. So the first one is the Element Encyclopedia of Secret Signs and Symbols. This particular copy I picked up on a secondhand online bookstore. I think it's called World of Books. But this is also something that you could probably look for on eBay or something like that. I am not sure if it is still in publication, but I'm a cheapskate and I love secondhand books, so I tend to look for those first, particularly a book like this, which was published several years ago. So there are obviously copies floating around in secondhand markets. If it had just been published, that might be a little bit harder. So what is so great about this book is that it has alphabetical listings of just about every symbol across a wide scope of cultures. So you have everything from Asian and Japanese symbolism, you have Jewish symbolism, you have tarot card symbolism, you have references to astrology, just all sorts of things, just in a one big handy book. Like it just has it lists the symbols for the elements, like fire, water, air. It's all here in one book. So I keep this next to my bed. So sometimes if there is a raven on a tarot card, I will look in here and read some of the information. It's basically a symbol encyclopedia. And I know you can Google stuff like this and look it up online, but in today's age, I don't know where any of that information came from or who collected it or anything. And obviously, all of this is subject to personal preference. A mushroom can mean something entirely different to you, and it's probably just as valid as whatever the historical information is about mushrooms. But it also is, includes things like alchemist symbols and, sigil magic. I just could not resist having this book. What is a pigeon cipher? It's just fun to flip through. It has mudras in here. So it's just a really great book. It's original. It looks like the copyright was 2008, according to the back of the book. It was a Harper Element. It's chunky. It's old school phone book sized. The author is Adele Nozadar. But yeah, if you've ever wanted to have a book like this that just has information about all sorts of symbols, what it is, what's the difference between a talisman and a sigil, this is just a great place to start. It's not, comprehensive about any one thing, but it is a really good place to sort of research and get a little bit more information in the same way that we used to do with encyclopedias. So that is the Element Encyclopedia of Secret Signs and Symbols, the ultimate A to Z guide from alchemy to zodiac. So I really am glad to have a book like that. I find it super useful. This next to, I really wish it was all in one book. I wish it was just the complete language of plants, rather than having an herb and a flower, because in a lot of cases, the flowers, the herbs are flowers, the flowers are herbs, that kind of thing. So some listings are duplicated, and then in other cases, I have to sort of look in both books. But I really like this set for looking up more information about a given plant. I know a lot of people talk about not knowing a whole lot about any given plant, but there are illustrations of each plant that's listed. They are listed in here by their Latin name, so you may have to refer to the what do you call this? The thing in the back, the index, to locate if you only know something by, say, it's a, you know, whatever type of, you know, like a chili plant or something. You go back here, you find chili, it's on page 175. And then you flip to page 175. Did I flip to 175? One more page. And did I do that right? Oh, 175 might be the number, not the page. So each of these has a number at the top that says, like, this is 747, that's 745. So this might be 175. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I flipped through this. Yeah. So 175, for a chili pepper, it's capsicum. And then what's nice here is that oftentimes if there's any other plants that fit into this category, they will also be listed nearby. So if you're looking for sort of like just another type, but it provides all the different potential plants in that category, then symbolic meanings, possible power, and any folklore and facts. So it's, you know, like I was looking through the woodland wardens, and one of the items was willow. And so while there are descriptions in the guidebook, sometimes it's fun to see what else you can find. So I guess willow might be in the flowers. Let's see. We'll look in the index. Oh, there we go. 823. So willow is actually salix. And then symbolic meanings listed here are illness recovery, motherhood, receiving a blessing, or spring. And then there's a folklore or facts. And there's several, depending on, you know, like there's a, you know, Christian folklore about the willow, as well as a Chinese and a Taoist. And so sometimes it's fun to just like go through and see sort of cross-pollinating between different cultures, how they have used symbolism from these various plants. Sometimes it's the actual like healing powers. I think in the herbal book, let's move this one out of the way, but the illustrations are beautiful. Yeah, so like in some instances, they will actually say things like wear or carry a sachet to encourage the truth in a conversation of any kind. So that's also really cool to have that kind of information that you can actually like sort of cross between tarot and witchcraft or protection magic or whatever. But yeah, I can't say specifically like if I would recommend one or the other. Genuinely speaking, I think if you are interested in this kind of thing, I would get both of the books. I managed to get one in hardback and one in paperback. So the price is probably a little different. The paperback one was $22.99 US, and it was purchased probably a couple years ago, so the price may have gone up. And the hardback was $24.99. These are from Wellfleet Press. And the author on both of them is S. Teresa Dietz. And I know that the artist who did, Jessica Rue, who did the Woodland Wardens, did actually do like a floral, like Victorian floral book, which is beautiful, but is not a tool to use in the way, I think for the kind of work that we do, in the way that these books are. I think it's called Floriography. That book is more about like the Victorian symbolism of various flower bouquets and flowers, and has less like sort of detailed history, folklore, folk magic kind of things, where these books do have more of that kind of information. While Floriography is beautiful, I don't refer to it very much. I just use it like a picture book. And then the last thing is the series from Taschen. I'm showing you specifically the Library of Esoterica, the tarot book. There is also an astrology book and a book on witches. This is the one that I probably pull off the shelf most frequently because it has all sorts of tarot cards for each like different artists, different creators over time and through history, along with information. And so it's a beautiful, like, you know, sort of coffee table style book. It's huge. It's a giant volume, but it has all these lovely illustrations from, like, this is the Solabusca deck. And so, like, at the beginning, there's more history. Here's the classic Marseille, the Atella, I'm sure I didn't say that right and I apologize, as well as like the Rider-Waite-Smith, and then more images of more modern decks, history and timeline. But then as you jump into it, the book, there is for each card this like big spread, detail about the specific card, and then goes into symbology, attributes. There are pictures from various decks, some that may not be available anymore. So it's just kind of fun to see all of these beautiful images, how differently people have represented, just in this example, the Fool card alone. You know, there's classic Rider-Waite, but then also all of these others that may be ones you've never seen before. There certainly have been many that I have not seen before, and it's just fun to see sort of what they've referenced. And this book, so let's see, I think this is still the Fool. So the Fool section went from here to here, so a good, you know, and yes, most of this is large scale illustrations and details about the artists and when they were created, but there is this lovely write-up and this great page, and it includes some of the symbols that are in each of the cards. And so this goes through for all of the major arcana, as well as details in the back. So we get the star, sun, judgment, and move it along here. World, we're getting there. And then the minor arcana, there's clearly, like, this is the major arcana section and this is the minor. So it's a little, like, this is just like lots of images of the wands. So it's less detailed for the minor arcana, but it's still really fun to see these. There is, you know, little write-ups. There's a Barbara Walker. You know, and again, it has qualities, astrology. So if you were looking for more keywords to sort of use in association, sometimes this can be fun. Such great, like, some of these, like, I have never seen some of these cards. So it's just, I tend to just pick this up and flip through it. It's just fun to see these different designs. This is the Dolly deck, which I love. But yeah, so this is another, and I mean, this is probably the most tarot related of all of them, but it's not necessarily a guidebook. It is definitely more like a history book, with just beautiful illustrations, which is Taschen is known for. And like I said, there's also an astrology one, and it has lovely astrological illustrations and little details about each astrology sign. The Witches book, I find more is just like beautiful paintings and representations and stuff. But yeah, so these are 3.5, I guess, tarot adjacent book recommendations. Do you have any that you refer to regularly that wouldn't necessarily be considered a tarot reference guide? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to add more reference books and materials to my collection. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to talk to you again soon.